So, Corinthians tells us that whoever sows sparingly also reaps sparingly, and whoever sows bountifully also reaps bountifully. Each one must give as he has decided in his heart, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. Now, obviously, there are times where we may have to give, and we may not be cheerful about it, like when you're paying your taxes. I don't know. But there are also a lot of times where we're giving or we're staying with someone more out of a sense of guilt than a sense of really wanting to do it. And it's not the best place to be. And it's possible to get to a more cheerful place of giving. And let's see what we can do about that. So, taking full responsibility for your own well-being. Even though I do some things out of guilt, I choose to love and accept myself. Even though I do some things out of guilt, I choose to love and honor myself. Even though I do some things out of guilt, not because I want to, but because I feel I have to. And other people are getting what they need. And I'm resenting them. But at least I'm not feeling guilty. And even though I'm doing some things out of guilt, I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. And maybe anyone else who taught me to do this. And all the other people involved. All these things I do out of guilt. All this need to feel guilty if I don't do them. All this fear that I wouldn't do it without guilt. This belief that I need guilt to motivate me. This belief that all these things I'm doing out of guilt makes me a good person somehow. But if I'm doing something for someone out of guilt, or for fear of feeling guilty, chances are I might be resenting them for it. Here, I'll give you what you want. But I'm going to resent you for it. And how noble is that, really? And I'm not doing it because I'm bad or stupid. I've just been programmed to think this way. I've been programmed to make these sacrifices. I've been programmed to believe I'm doing the other person a favor. But if someone was just being with me out of guilt, would I feel good about that? Would I want them to resent me? And if part of me says yes, I choose to move through that. I don't need people to be with me out of guilt. Because I am worthy and deserving of love and respect. And I'm allowing people to treat me with love and respect. And I choose to treat other people with love and respect. Because it feels good to do so. If I'm doing it from a place of guilt, or even fear of guilt, then is it really love and or respect? All this fear that without guilt, I wouldn't do the right thing. I choose to clear that. Because as I clear what doesn't feel like love, I always come from a place of love. And that's generally going to be the right thing. Clearing this belief that if I'm staying with someone or giving to them out of guilt, that I'm really doing them a favor. I'm not really doing them a favor. Because they deserve better than that. I choose to be open to the possibility that whatever is for my highest good will not take away from anyone else's highest good. And if something is taken away from my highest good, then it isn't really for their highest good either. And there are times where we make compromises. But those compromises can still be within our highest good. And I'll know when it is. And I also know when it isn't. If I'm doing something solely because of guilt, chances are it's not for anyone's highest good. And if I'm using guilt to stop me from doing bad things, there's a lot of other stuff that I really need to clear. I'm clearing whatever would cause me to do bad things. Clearing whatever would cause me to do harm. So that I do the right thing because it feels right. And I choose to feel good in body, mind, and spirit. Take a deep breath. Allow the rinse repeat as necessary. Check out the videos on guilt or resentment, and really find what's for the highest good of all concerned. Thanks.